Venture deep into the scrub jungle of the Aravalli Hills in southwestern Rajasthan, past the mountain ridges and forested valleys, and you will eventually find a massive 500-year-old marble monument. This is the Chaturmukh Temple at Ranakpur. Inside, the footprint stretches across 48,000 square feet. The structure supports 29 halls and 80 domes, yet it has almost no walls. The entire three-story complex relies on a vast, continuous grid of supporting columns. Despite standing in this remote valley for half a millennium, the complex is completely intact. There is absolutely no hint of damage or erosion on any of its intricate surfaces. Ranakpur stands as an outlier in history, a monument that reached the 5-century mark with its absolute human precision entirely intact. Walking into this space feels like entering a forest of stone. The roof is held up by 1,444 marble pillars. Aligning this many load-bearing shafts across 3 floors requires the kind of geometric precision we usually reserve for modern, laser-leveled construction. The massive grid perfectly captures sunlight filtering through the open courtyards, casting precise, shifting shadows across the marble floors. Walk through this precise grid long enough, however, and you will eventually find a physical anomaly. Out of all 1,444 mathematically placed columns, exactly 1 leans noticeably out of line. While a shifting foundation or earthquake might explain the lean, the builders themselves engineered this error. It was a calculated act of sabotage by the very hands that carved the marble. We have to figure out why the creators of India's most precise architectural wonder chose to permanently damage their own masterpiece. In 1439, the Kingdom of Mewar was expanding rapidly from Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh under King Ranakpur, generating immense regional wealth. Taking advantage of this prosperity and the era's religious harmony, a devout Jain minister named Darna Shah approached the Hindu king. His request was unusual. He wanted permission to construct a massive temple he had seen in a vivid, reoccurring dream. When the king agreed, Darna Shah passed over the famous royal builders who usually handled state monuments. Instead, he hired a completely unrecognized architect from a humble background named Deepak. Deepak faced a massive logistical hurdle. He had to translate Darna Shah's dream of a multi-pillared labyrinth into physical stone, without the aid of standardized blueprints or formal engineering drawings. To get a project of this scale off the ground, Deepak couldn't rely on strict top-down instruction. He had to invent an entirely different way to manage his workforce. Over the 50-year construction period, Deepak and Darna Shah completely decentralized the building process. They divided the labor, assigning subsections of the pillars to different independent artisans. Instead of enforcing a uniform visual pattern, they granted these workers creative autonomy. Each carver was free to dictate the exact aesthetic of the capital and middle shaft on their assigned columns. The result of this freedom is visually overwhelming. Every single one of the 1,444 pillars is unique. None of them repeat. The craftsmen pushed the limits of the material, carving complex figures from single slabs of marble, like this 1,000-headed divine serpent endlessly intertwined. They applied that same exhaustive attention to detail to the central figure, carving the supreme Jain preacher, Lord Adinath, from pristine, locally sourced white marble. Giving hundreds of independent workers this much creative license could easily have resulted in structural chaos. Instead, it produced the most intricately embellished masterpiece of the 15th century. By the late stages of the 50-year build, the grand halls were finally taking shape around the central stone elephant, and the dust began to settle. As Darna Shah, Deepak, and the artisans stepped back to inspect their decades of labor, they realized exactly what they had accomplished. The structure was entirely devoid of mathematical or structural errors. In many contexts, that would be a cause for celebration, but for these builders, it triggered a deep psychological fear of hubris, the dangerous pride of mortals trying to achieve divine perfection. According to their beliefs, the realm of the absolute and the perfect belonged strictly to the gods. Tempting fate by matching that perfection on Earth was practically an invitation for cosmic retribution. To the architects of Ranakpur, achieving a truly flawless structure represented a fatal liability. They viewed perfection as a spiritual danger that required immediate neutralization. The team made a final, calculated decision. Before completing the project, they installed one noticeably crooked column to deliberately break the mathematical symmetry. That single tilted pillar serves a distinct philosophical function. It acts as a physical anchor for anyone walking through the halls, reminding visitors that they are still on Earth and that to be human is to be inherently flawed. This 600-year-old philosophy stands in direct opposition to our current world, where we use technology to hunt down and eliminate every possible margin of error. The builders of Ranakpur actively manufactured one. The Chaturmukh Temple's legacy doesn't rest solely on its 1,443 perfect pillars. It endures because its creators were wise enough to build one deliberate mistake.